again, man. Back again.
Back again.
What is this? This
Episode 6, Brick
is
Talk.
episode 6. Man, we're getting up there. Damn, we're consistent. Consistency
I
is the
know, huh?
goddamn key, man. I love it.
Yeah, man. I like them numbers. I'm doing some, monitoring on our numbers and people viewing, but I'm just reminding myself that I don't really care about any of that till we got 100 Brick Talk episodes up there. I want to make sure we keep pushing these out every week. And it's cool to see, we had a moment, a little like a comedic moment on the last episode, and I got some comments from people. So it's cool to see that they're sticking around. I think that moment was like at the 12-minute mark. So I know 12 minutes ain't that long of a time, but it's just interesting to see that they're sticking around and paying attention. So it's a good feeling, and we appreciate y'all for
Yeah,
listening.
for sure. And man, how's your day been? How's your day been going?
It's been a weird day, man. It's been a little different day. Got some upsetting news to say the least that just kind of yeah just kind of
Yeah, it is.
yeah.
It's life, man. It's things, but what it showed me is, man, I got to get away, right? And it kind of pulls into our first topic, Airbnb Icons, something you put me on. It was so goddamn interesting when I saw this. You can crash at the X-Men mansion, right? So we'll put that on the screen. A way to live a different experience other than just going to a regular Airbnb in Toledo, Ohio. You can actually have this deeper, experience, whether it's a concert or some type of celebrity VIP. They have a bunch of great options right now, and it was cool to see someone like myself who appreciates the X Men, who appreciates Inside Out too. Like these classics. I think the Up House is available, right? So I think that's cool. That's something that I look for is more experiences. We need more experiences, just not just going to your typical steakhouse, right? So I think yeah, that's dope. I don't think some of these. I don't know how some of these could be actually real though. Some of this stuff looks kind of ridiculous. Um, but it's cool. It's a cool thing to see. It's interesting how all that works. Those uh, icon experiences. But are you more of a Airbnb guy or a hotel guy? Which one do you kind of lean?
Hmm. It's a good question because I believe my answer has changed over the past couple years. I think at one point my answer would be Airbnb. However, I believe that nothing tops a hotel stay. Nothing beats a hotel room. You got the I don't know, just the experience of it. Airbnbs have more character, right? You can stay. We stayed in one in Carlsbad last year. It was really cool, like the flavor that comes with the presence of someone's house. Framed photos, different colors. Hotels, you can kind of see like the same shit over and over. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I think my answer not, and plus, not to mention, we all know like the kind of the fall Airbnb took. I guess it's a few years ago now when they were just facing, critical feedback regarding fees, right? So how much are you spending on these cleaning fees? People talking about like hiding cameras in the houses, all that type shit. So I think hotels kind of took a lead there, but Airbnb definitely are still around, and like I said, I stayed in one last year, so I'm not hating on Airbnb. I do appreciate staying in like cooler spots, right? So, and I think this icons, everybody has a favorite movie, everybody has a favorite TV show. They've done research on memorabilia for this. They have gone on eBay looking up, items from the set. People are interested in this stuff. So, like you were talking about, if you have a favorite a house or setting or building that the icons are now available, you can go and stay in that setting that this film or TV show was shot, and that kind of that fan lore, it's pretty cool, like to have that experience. But to answer your question, I believe at the moment I am a hotel man. What about yourself?
It depends. It definitely depends on the city. I've leaned, like you're saying, more towards the hotel just because the fees with Airbnb is crazy. Um, I remember a couple years back, I stayed at a Airbnb in DC, but I was kind of out a little bit and like kind of getting into Delaware somewhat, and it was near the little Pizza Gate pizza place that the guy ran up in there, and just the area was just weird. Just the area itself, and the guy who I was renting this Airbnb from was very strange. So I felt like he might have had cameras in there. So it's crazy. It's like I don't know. I don't know what life was before Airbnb, honestly, and I don't. Air, hotels are just as weird sometimes. A lot of trafficking, underground tunnels. They say, like, are they really cleaning the rooms? You know, that's always the sheets. The sheets are just never. They're just too hard, right? The towels are too hard. Um, I feel like you have to go to get a real nice experience. You have to pay more, and it's like, damn, like you're paying more for a normal living situation, which is yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, no, that's a good call because like hotels, like what you're getting, right? And I think that's why people favor that. But also, there has been more attendance, so you're sleeping in a bed that more people have slept in. You're right. The sheets, are they really clean? You don't want to be touching that curtain on that window. You know what I'm saying? Like with Airbnb, yes, you're staying in someone else's home, but maybe that home, obviously, you can see the details on the app. But let's just say these people built the home, they lived in it for 10 years, right? The wife's going back to school to get a degree. They need more funds, right? Then they got to up the capital. They decide to rent out the third bedroom, and maybe they have like, I don't know, you go on the app to book this spot, maybe 20 guests have stayed there. So let's just say, you're putting up, say you're someone who like really cares about how many people have stayed in that space, cleanliness, all of that. 20 versus hotels, we're talking hundreds, thousands of people. So there definitely are different factors to weigh on both of them. But I think when it comes down to it, Airbnbs, you could find cooler spots, you could find more remote areas, cabins, all that. Hotels, what you're getting is kind of, cookie cutter, but you do have like, you pay that one fee to stay there that covers, your living, the fees. If you want to leave a little cash tip when you leave, that's up to you. But yeah.
Yeah, man. It's I don't know. Airbnb still just way too expensive for my taste. You know what? Airbnb this is a colonizer take. Airbnb is only good overseas. That's the best place to rent an Airbnb. It's overseas, but for here in the states, it's not really. Uh, this icon stuff. Some of this stuff looks ridiculous. It don't even look like real stuff. It might not even be real, right? But it's uh, it's cool. It's just cool to see. I like when they come up with different innovations, marketing schemes to get people engaged. I think that's really dope. Um, but thinking about that of dope stuff, um, did we discuss in the past that iPads are only for rich people, right? I think we might have discussed that off mic about how iPads are only for rich people, and a friend of ours just actually bought an iPad a couple weeks ago, and boom, earlier this week they come out with a new iPad, and this thing is thin as hell. I don't know what they're doing with the camera, but it's super thin. The camera doesn't even protrude like it does on the other ones, but it looks dope. $1,000 iPad Pro, the thinnest one I've seen yet, and I was like, I was impressed. I know a lot of people didn't like the campaign that they put out. They have some mixed reviews about it. But did you get a chance to take a look at that new iPad, and what are your thoughts?
Yes, I did. So I actually saw it like you're referring to the I don't know, I guess backlash via social media. There are a lot of people like reposting the trailer clip like with their own audio over it, stuff like that. I think yeah, and I did also see like the side profile photo of the iPad, how thin it is, like no bump for the camera. I think we're getting closer and closer to the day where an iPad is basically a laptop. I mean, I think we're already there, but in terms of like capabilities, power, battery, you know, I don't know if the iPad will ever arrive at what a laptop is and can, uh, the just capabilities of a laptop, but we're getting close to it. I mean, the specs and plus price differences. Like you look at one of like the higher spec iPads that they're releasing versus like the M3 Pro, M3 chip MacBooks. I mean, uh, kind of similar in comparison. So I don't know if I could get on. Like imagine just like having your iPad as your go-to. I mean, I know you're a MacBook Pro guy yourself, so like could you use like if I were to tell you like because iPad Pros they have like Photoshop and shit, right? So like if I gave you that, could you last like a week, 2 weeks? Would that be in your main machine? Would that be something that you'd be open to trying?
I don't know. I don't have to get my hands on it. Man, I don't know. I'm so I feel like I'm old school at this point. Like I need like a Logitech Magic Mouse, MX Master, whatever it's called. I need a mouse. I just like having a big monitor. Um, I have a hard time just working on my laptop in a coffee shop. I want to be one of those guys who brings the whole setup to Starbucks, right? Like I'm on it like that. So I can't. I don't know, man. It's one of those things where I need to actually get in there and try it out for a week and see if I could. I do. I think you and I both do a lot of design. So I don't know if it can handle the type of work that we do. So I think if you're, only using Figma, you only using Notion, using stuff that's maybe in browser with the Magic keyboard, um, I can definitely see it. But for guys like ourselves, I think we still need something a little bit more robust. But I think iPads are only for if you have an iPad, you have your life together, right? That's how I see iPads. It's such a useless device, but it's such a luxury. It's such an amazing device if you have one. So, um, yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I think if you purchase an iPad, that is a tell that you own a mobile device and a computer. You're just playing middle ground. You just want to fucking have something in the middle. Uh, and I think like I've seen artists, that specialize in hand lettering, um, illustration, that they use an iPad as part of their process. They'll open Procreate or whatever program they're using, kind of lay out the groundwork, right? Apple Pencil and then transfer it onto a computer. So I can see the benefits and using it for that. I just think, like you said, like we need something more powerful. And it's interesting you make the comment about the monitor because I think off air in the last few days, I recently got a new computer and I was trying to use it. just on the MacBook itself, can't do it. I like the monitor. I like the bigger display. I like the mouse and keyboard separate. I can spread it out. I got the Logitech vertical. Easy on the wrist, right? So, uh, I do appreciate though, traveling, coffee shops. If I want to switch up the scenery, having the laptop. But like you said, if I can fit a monitor in my backpack, I would every time. Um, but yeah, speaking of Apple and Apple, I guess Apple software. Um, did you see a few days ago Arc from the browser company? They released Arc for Windows. I know you were the one who actually put me on Arc a few months back. Checked it out. I use it every now and then. Not a daily user though, but I know you're a Apple user, so I don't know if you'd be using Arc on Windows. But what do you think about their release on Windows? Also, the Arc was built using Swift, which is the language that most mobile applications on the App Store are built on. So it's interesting for them to make that crossover. And I was just checking out some of their material before their call. I just like the vibe of this company. I like their what they're doing over there. I checked out some of their YouTube content. Yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
So yeah, I love the browser company. I love the just everything they do. It's so great. While Arc is still isn't my daily driver as far as browsers. I mean, it's basically you know it's a Chromium or a Chrome skin to a certain extent. But they have it's set up in a way that's just amazing. So yeah, I love it. I recommend it to anybody, right? Use my link to for art, but yeah, it's amazing, bro. It's just they just doing things right. The company, the marketing, everything about it is perfect, right? There's not much really to say. I don't know if I'll be using it on Windows. It might be a great experience. I might see if I can get it downloaded and try it out on a Windows computer. Because man, that Microsoft Edge, even Chrome at this point is just real dusty. It's not really. I feel like I don't know if it's my computer. I don't know what's going on, but using Chrome is just like kind of the worst at this point, right? So, any other experience where I can save certain links, bookmarks, switch profiles. I have a profile myself that's all just basically a designer profile with ISPO and Figma and Notion right there, having Spotify blasting, just playing a playlist, and I could just switch to a completely another profile, and I can become a writer, and I have Grammarly open and other programs open. It's just great, and it's the user experience is something that I can't get with just using Chrome just out the box. So yeah, I recommend it to everyone I talk to, and yeah, it's just a great product. The browser company, I just love it.
Yeah, yeah, and I like that like we started talking about we got to get away, and we can kind of relate that to this because that's like a message that they push like through their branding and through like their messaging on the YouTube videos is when the search browser became a thing, Google made this deal that whenever you do a search in your web browser, just in the bar, it defaults to using Google as a search engine. So, that made them like a cash cow, and they started bringing in all the money, and they start throwing up search ads, SEO, all that. So Arcs are kind of reimagining what a browser looks like, and you could definitely appreciate that for someone who uses the internet every day of our lives and just overall, as a tech person, likes all that shit. Um, I think for the listeners that aren't that familiar with Arc, just to give you a quick kind of rundown, what they one of the things that they are known for, they have the sidebar for all your tabs on the left, in a portrait type deal, like a drop down collapsible thing. They have spaces, which is essentially like profiles for web browsing. They recently introduced the Browse for Me feature, these different, cool features. I really like their brandings, like different colors, and just it makes it more fun. I know we're talking about Chrome is kind of like the industry standard, and you see use a lot, but also Chrome is heavy on cookies, uh, data that piles up web browsing. That's why I've been using Firefox for at least the last 5 6 years. I don't know why, honestly. I prefer, and I've used Firefox for so long. I think it's a little better on privacy, and I like that. Uh, you know, I'm realizing within honestly pretty recently about programs that don't even work on Firefox. I have to use a Chrome browser. That the functionality they just break on Firefox because they're not written right or written for Chromium or whatever. So but I don't know. Interesting to see Arc, and I think they had like a valuation not too long ago of some crazy amount. They're definitely pushing the boundaries on. You don't see a different web browser pop up, all that often, right? This is kind of the main players. Um, yeah, so pretty interesting to see. I'll give it a try out for sure.
Yeah, yeah, man. I feel like uh, Arc and Discord are kind of like they're just like right there, very similar. They look complicated when you first look at it, but the customization that you have with the experience, I might be uh, like I'm old as dirt, and I still I pay for Nitro, right? Like, uh, I'm in and out of Discord all day. Arc, it kind of gives the same vibe, I guess. So those two together are really are they're dope. It's a dope experience. I like how on the internet there's products like these two that I'm mentioning that are still complicated. People can't just the user experience is you can make it your way, your experience. Like with Arc, you can color the browser any color you want, have any appearance you want, really play with the gradients and really give it a vibe. Same thing you can kind of do on Discord. Um, I like being able to the customization on both. So yeah, Discord, Discord and Arc, man. Those are two good ones for sure. Two companies I'm watching.
Yeah, I actually think it's a pretty spot on comparison. Like in their own separate dimensions of the interwebs, like Discord's up there, like their ball game. That they're competing with Slack, Microsoft Teams, all these other ones. Discord has that, like you say, make it yours customization. I think one of the many things that Arc's doing right is just their UI, their interface, how things are laid out. Another thing they launched is Arc Search, the mobile application, essentially AI driven for the Browse for Me feature. Basically, does what like ChatGPT can do, but it just makes it look pretty and kind of lays out helpful links. You're searching for a product, gives you all different options, reasons why you would want the product, other variations, et cetera, YouTube videos, external links, all that. You know, definitely, leveraging AI and what it's becoming. I think every company is doing that now. So, speaking of AI and OpenAI, recently the Sora first official music video using Sora. Did you see this?
I did see it. It still looked weird, but it was cool too. Cool technology.
Yeah, it definitely it's evident that it is AI. I do, I can applaud um, the creativity, just the difference, the way they put it together. Using completely AI stuff. I know, they're like complete AI like TV shows, like animated TV shows now, and it's just very interesting. Like I think some of them are kind of like using stop motion as well. They just take product shots of different figures, and AI just runs the show, takes over, imagining this figure doing this, imagining this figure doing that, put it all together. It is kind of choppy, and it's very clear that it is AI, but it's still interesting nonetheless.
For sure. Yeah. It's interesting how this whole AI is playing out and just the use cases for it. I would love to see an artist actually use this experience in a music video, but with them still in the music video, instead of a replacement for, you know, I kind of see this being when an artist or someone makes a song and they're just, basically doing what the gorillas did back in the day with the cartoon thing. But I want to see artists actually use that in their actual experience. If they were, I'm sure there's some artists out there who got their own home studio and they're using this AI feature to build environments, right? I think that would be dope to see.
Yeah, I agree. And that technique you mentioned is called rotoscope. I had to look it up because it was drawing a blank. But I actually we did a project my senior year of high school and rotoscoping. Our inspiration was gorillas and Day and Night Kid Cudi video, um, and we rotoscoped a clip of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. It's one of like the old ones, and it definitely was an interesting project. We use Adobe Flash for it. Scene by scene. Boom, 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 one by one, just drawing over it and moving the illustrations. Definitely, just a long process, and you could really appreciate that style and the look of it. I think AI they just have to get away from the animated look. Even with the imagery, you look at any photo of an AI generated person, you look at their skin, it's just pastel. Like, it's just like there's no realness to it in the skin texture. There's no like veins or wrinkles or ash or there's anything that makes it real. It's just so cartoony like. So once they can kind of bridge that, I think it'll look real. But I'm interested in what you're talking about, just like um, merging the two of like real life, having the artist in the video, but also like an AI world around them. Will definitely be interesting to see.
For sure. Yeah, I think definitely people should kind of stay away of trying to replace humans, even based on our previous podcast. We talked about the Butlers, Robin Williams and all that, right? So I think as long as I think it's cool to create the environments with this thing. Placing yourself in a different environment than your the typical green screen, right? Like I think that is will be a dope use case there. So yeah, that's cool. I'm pretty sure they're going to use it for try to replace typical commercials and you know that's how the game goes, right?
Yeah. Now, yeah, and it's I think just looking at the models that they've created, that they've opened up. I'm not sure how it works, but people basically send in prompts for videos they want to see, and they put them out. It's incredible stuff. I mean, there's no other way to put it. It's just mind-boggling how it's all AI generated and how it puts it together. I think from an AI perspective, on a human visual perception, an AI image could make you question things, right? Like let's just say it's like a super well done one, and it's very hard to tell if it's AI or not. It can make you question if this is real. Say it has someone that you deeply admire doing something that you deeply despise. It would, for a second before you think, oh, that's probably AI, you're like, oh shit, like that's alarming or that's like worrisome. I think a still image has a cap though at breaching your nerves or your like understanding of what's real or not. Now, video, visual video, motion picture, I think it has a just a heavier it has heavier weight to it. I think seeing something happen in motion, letting it play through no matter how long it is, it affects you more, from a perception perspective. It's just like uh that's just my personal opinion. I think it just sticks with you longer. I think it has more of a visual, you know, it tugs at your heartstrings. I don't know how else, it just kind of hits you different than a still image. I don't know if that makes sense,
Yeah,
but
no, for sure. Because we in previous episodes we talked about TikTok and how just hearing someone repeat some information, even if that information may be wrong, it kind of sits in the back of your mind. Just that idea. So as this thing gets better and better, people start. I know. On Facebook, they'll have this thing where like it'll be some aliens attacking like DC. And it'll be a live streaming. It looks spot on. Obviously, this isn't real. This isn't happening. But the ability to create these videos for bad reasons, showing a family member getting killed, right? Showing president being assassinated, or this person being assassinated, or this type of attack or tsunami, and being able to spread that across the internet. It's already hard enough to tell what's real and what's fake. We already have, all of us are suffering from a counterinsurgence of misinformation. So I'm definitely about ethics when it comes to technology, and hopefully, I doubt it, but hopefully these people, they use these use cases for the right reasons, and it doesn't get into the hand of bad actors.